Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, January the 9th, 2024 Beer Board meeting. I'd like to go ahead and call our meeting to order through a roll call vote. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Present.
Thank you. Alderman Caesar?
Present.
And the chair is here as well. We'll move directly into approval of the minutes. Consideration of approval of the minutes for November the 14th, 2023 Beer Board meeting. Is there a motion?
So move.
Motion has been moved, and
I'm not going to second. I wasn't here.
the chair will second the motion. And with that second, we'll move to a roll call vote. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Alderman Caesar, how do you vote?
I'll abstain.
Thank you. And the chair votes yes as well. Moving forward to new business, we have item number 2, election of a chair and vice chair, effective 2024. Are there any?
Do you want to continue to be chair?
Yes, sir, I will.
I'll make the motion that, for you to still be chairman of this beer board.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
All right, motion has been made for Alderman Jason Potts to continue serving as the chair for the beer board for the duration of 2024. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alderman Caesar, how do you
Yes.
vote? And the chair votes yes as well. And now we'll take a nomination for vice chair. Sure.
All right. I'll make a motion Greg Caesar be the vice chair.
I will second that motion. Motion has been made and properly seconded for Alderman Greg Caesar to serve as the vice chair for the beer board for the year 2024. And I guess that would carry into 2025 just a little bit. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And Alderman Caesar?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes as well. Moving now to item number 3 on the agenda. This is consideration of application of Nashville Northside Blue Sushi, LLC, DBA Blue Sushi Sake Grill, 500001 Aspen Grove Suite 142, Franklin, Tennessee 37067. Marjorie Huntley, managing agent for on-premises consumption.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Ms. Huntley is actually running a little behind, and so I would request that maybe we move on to the next 2 applicants and take this item back up at the end to give her a little time to get here.
Absolutely. Any opposition to that?
None.
Seeing none, we'll move now to item number 4 on the agenda, which is consideration of application for Jamble Group, LLC, DBA Gina's Stone Fired Italian and Pizzeria, 3046 Columbia Avenue, Suite 118, Franklin, Tennessee 37064. Bill McGremis,
That's correct.
managing agent for on-premises consumption. Welcome, Mr. McGremis.
Yes.
Good to be here.
So this is Mr. McGremis. He is the new owner, so you may recognize Gina's Stone Fired and Pizzeria because this is an existing business in the city of Franklin. It does have new ownership, however, which requires a new beer permit, and everything required for the permit has been submitted and reviewed and checks off. So staff is recommending approval with no contingencies on this permit. And I'll let the applicant tell you a little bit about the business, if there's anything you'd like to share.
Go ahead, Mr. McGremis.
Oh, yeah. The business has been there for 10 years. I recently took ownership of it at the beginning of this year. So looking forward to carrying on all of their prior reputation, and don't plan on changing anything quite yet, but we'll work on things as they come along.
Excellent. All right. Any questions from the
So
board?
you've got your are you maintaining the staff that was with the old owner?
Yeah.
So they are trained, they know what their requirements are as far as underage sales and whatever else.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're all ABC permitted and licensed and
All right.
everything. Yeah, I'm retaining them.
Where is Suite 118?
It's right next door to Panera on the end
Okay.
of that strip.
Kroger Shopping Center.
The Kroger
behind
shop.
First
Yep.
Horizon.
All right.
They've got good pizza there.
We do.
I will make the motion to approve the permit.
Motion has
I'll
been
second
made,
the motion.
and it has been properly seconded. This is for item number 4 on our agenda. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alderman Caesar, how do you
Yes.
vote? And the chair votes yes as well. Thank you, Mr. McGinnis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll now move to item number 5, consideration of application for Ataku Raymond Franklin LLC DBA Ataku Raymond Franklin 230 Franklin Road, Suite 11-T, Franklin, Tennessee 37064. Todd Brennan, managing agent for on-premises consumption, and I'm sure I'll get a correction on the pronunciation of the name.
Well, I
Go
won't
ahead.
correct you on that, but I will let you know that this is Rob Pinson. I'm sure you recognize Mr. Pinson. He's the attorney for the applicant. And this is a new business. And we are still waiting on the certificate of occupancy for them. And so staff would request that the approval be made contingent upon receiving the certificate of occupancy. I'll let you share about the business.
Yeah, sorry, Todd couldn't be here due to family emergency out of town, so I live nearby, so I thought I'd just help out. So it's, I think, Otaku Ramen. It's like ramen is we grew up eating in college, except I think it's fancier. People go out to eat ramen now. There are 3 locations in Nashville, and so I think this will be the first one outside of the Nashville proper area. Pretty successful. I've eaten there once before. It's very good. Getting a liquor license as well. So they'll have all the necessary ABC training, take the sale of alcohol very seriously. It'll be in the factory, I think on one of the outside parcels of the new factory. That factory is going to be amazing when they're done. Yeah, so they come down to Franklin, which is great.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pinson. Questions from the board?
I was just actually, is it
Yes.
all right if I ask a question? Do
Certainly.
you know, I know the factory does combination premises for their beer and liquor permittees, and I knew this was at the factory, but you saying that made me wonder, will this business have a lease that allows them to serve, have their patrons take beer in any of the common spaces?
Excuse me. Yes, yeah. So the factory got state law. I don't know if we've talked about this, but we got state law passed to kind of allow we call it the combination premises. So you see it like at the airport, right? You know, someone can get a drink at Old Red and then carry it out to the concourses behind security. The factory's got something similar passed where you can bring it around the factory and get a drink. It has to be a labeled cup so people know where it came from. So if you see a 16-year-old with a cup, you know kind of where to follow it back. So yeah, this will be kind of part of that operation as well. And I think you'll see a lot more of this with the factories. I think the landlord got that law passed to kind of just, it makes it easier, kind of the convenience of the customer. People can come and, maybe grab a drink or some food, and then maybe they're still not done with their wine. They can go shop with it. Yeah. So
Yeah, thank you for
it should
sharing
be-
that. I just wanted to disclose to the board, since this is kind of a new thing for us, and we did actually amend our ordinance after that law passed, to just reiterate that that is something that is applicable to our beer permits under the stipulation that the lease allows the restaurant tenant to have access to those common areas, and that there's signs telling them no alcohol
Yep.
beyond this point, so that it's clear what sections of the factory are common area and which are not. So just thank you. I wanted to share
Yeah,
that. But
no
go
problem.
ahead if you all have questions. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I don't have any questions. I just make a general comment. That is similar to what you've got on Main Street when you have one of the festivals. You block off, is it? You block
No,
off-
not
Not?
actually. At the festivals, they have to tell us where they're going to put the beer tent, and then it has to be enclosed in that specific spot, and they have to have someone checking IDs at the entrance. There has to be one point of ingress and egress at the tent, and you have to drink the beer or liquor in that section that is fenced off. And that's why we make them be very specific when an event organizer applies for a permit, because oftentimes their festival is encompassing a very large area and multiple streets. But the beer permit will say like on public square or in front of this business or in the parking lot of this business, because they have to keep it in that very specific area. That's a great question, though.
Then I'll make a motion to approve the permit contingent upon them receiving their CO.
I'll second that.
All right. Motion has been made and properly seconded. We'll go to a roll call vote. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alderman Caesar, how do you
Yes.
vote? And the chair votes yes as well. Thank you, Mr. Prince.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.
All right. We'll now very slowly move back to agenda item number 3 in hopes that the applicant has arrived.
I might take just a step outside to make sure
Sure.
she's not waiting out in the lobby, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, we can do that. Thank you. This is the riveting work of our municipal organization right now. And the applicant is,
I do not see Ms. Huntley. Typically, we do require that the applicants be present for their application to be heard. I will share with the board that we are still waiting on the certificate of occupancy for this application, so any approval would have to be contingent upon receiving that. So she would not be able to get the
She wouldn't get her bill
she wouldn't
license
get it
tonight anyway.
tonight. If we defer it to February, that she could potentially get her certificate of occupancy before the February meeting. So deferral could delay them getting the beer permit a little bit, but I do like to always require that the applicants be here. And like I said, I think she just maybe wasn't familiar with where to go and got
So
lost.
We could.
can I ask, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
In being new on the beer board, I appreciate this and also appreciate the other applicants that have come in tonight and kind of completed this process. Are there other outstanding elements or requirements, or is this more of a customary, we ask them to be in attendance?
There, Blake, you might want to add to this. There is no city ordinance requirement that the applicants be present. That's been the customary practice so that they can answer any questions that the board may have and that we can address any concerns or questions. I think it is an important requirement. I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
add to that.
Yeah, Ms. Davies is correct. There are a number of requirements, as you know, under the ordinance for the beer permit. Attendance is not listed, but as our general practice, we do like the applicant to be present. Considering these circumstances, I would advise probably defer till next month. It's probably just the safest bet, just based on historically what we've done as a city.
Well, are you able to give her a temporary permit somewhere, 2 weeks, a
If
week
sh-
out?
That's a great question and a great point to bring up. Thank you, Alderman Barnhill. If she receives a certificate of occupancy before the February meeting, I do have authority under the city ordinance to issue a temporary permit that would expire the date of the February meeting.
Then I would stick with the requirement that the applicant be present. I mean, she's not actually out
So-
anywhere.
and just to clarify, if you would, Blake, go ahead.
I was going to ask for a motion to be made, a motion to defer the item till to a time certain, which would be
What is the date of the next, do you have it in front of you, the next beer board meeting?
It'll be, that's what I was going to pull up. It will be February 13th.
Motion to defer item number 3 to the February 13th, you said? Beer board
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to defer item number 3 on the agenda, which is consideration of application of Northside Blue Sushi LLC DBA Blue Sushi Sake Grill, 5001 Aspen Grove, Suite 142, Franklin, Tennessee 37064. Marjorie Huntley, managing agent for on-premises consumption, to be deferred until Tuesday, February the 13th of 2024. Alderman Barnhill, how do you vote?
Yes.
Alderman Caesar, how do you
Yes.
vote? And the chair votes yes. The chair votes yes as well.
That is not
right.
hard.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes. Is there any other business to be brought before this board?
I have none.
And there is a motion on the floor to adjourn.
So move.
All those in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.